So, and I might have some stuff to show here in hopefully during the show. Yeah. Okay. Got to set up screen share here. Boy, by the way, look, we got all the freaking smoke from Canada, like you can see it, it's everywhere. Smell it. At least I could when I first walked outside, but can't really now. I think I put something, but yeah, it's thick. It is thick. It's gross, and I feel it. Like I feel it in my lungs. It's like I constantly shit just coming up. Gross. I tried to take a photo of it this morning, but it was like it just looked like the lens was dirty, kind of like, you know how everything just kind of gets hazy. Yeah, it didn't really show well in the photo, but oh my gosh, like seeing it in person, it is disgusting. It looks gross to me. You know, like I don't want to be out walking in that. Like it's nasty. In a little bit, I'll make mine later. Jeez, don't we have everything? Probably make a half of it. Mm-hmm. Hey Kim. There we go. All right, where's my share at? Just cool. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone had fun last night. Oh, why is that? What is that doing? Hope everyone enjoyed the speech. I sure did. Okay, I think Steph said everything got tagged. Should come right before the reset. There's the reset. Oh, by the way, doesn't I was checking out a live stream on X the other day, and like they've improved their chat at least a little bit. I really wish they would just go the extra mile and just do it right instead of whatever crap this is. Like it's so ridiculous. They could if they actually tried, have like the best live video chat community experience of any platform. Yet they somehow cede that ground to YouTube, which sucks miserably. Just bizarre decision making. It'd be so simple. Relatively, anyway. You know. Simple for him. Simple for them. Okay. Oh gosh darn it. Back. There we go. Alright, let me go down. Oh, look at that. You can see it there. Look at this.
Tall buildings, but the smell of the smoke is definitely something you won't miss. It's intense. I've seen some people coughing as they walk through the downtown, not seeing a lot of people wearing masks, but others are telling me they didn't even know the smoke was moving into the area today.
I didn't smell it on the bus, but
there, yeah, you can kind of see it here. Like, you see how, like, Oh, where am I at? There I am. You see how like up in the foreground here, like on her, contrast levels look normal, but like out in the background there, it's like milky. Like the further out you go, it's very like evenly distributed. Doesn't come in like thick smoke. It's all just like evenly coating everything. The further off in the distance you go, the more it just falls off into milky, like gross. Ugh.
Then as soon as I got down again, the same smell, and this is just like a foggy thing. I didn't know what that. I thought it was a fog, but I don't know if it's the smoke. Yeah. But it smells really bad.
It does.
The Midwest and the Northeast are expected to see some of the thickest smoke today, with almost 900 active wildfires burning across Canada right now. That wind pushing that smoke into the area here. This is what it looked like as a train crew moves through
Yeah, wasn't this wild?
Northern Ontario, with flames pushing right up against the train car before the crew was safely evacuated. And of course, now we have these warnings about unhealthy air conditions, actually the worst air quality that people are going to be breathing in years. These warnings are stretching from Minnesota to New Hampshire and Cape Cod, and they also impact some major cities along the I-95 corridor like New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and D.C. And the fire danger isn't just
we're getting nailed, man.
in Canada, northeastern Minnesota, thousands.
Ugh. See, I can. Just nasty. Started feeling it last night. Didn't know what it was at the time. Thought it was assumed I was like getting sick or something, but.
Good morning, George. Another hazy day here in New York City. You can see the downtown skyline there behind me, obviously inundated with smoke, as millions of Americans across this country are gearing up for yet another day of this.
This morning, millions waking up once again to hazy, hazardous skies, as smoke from those blazing Canadian wildfires keeps blowing across the border, traveling more than 1,000 miles.
We are reaching into a level of air quality that is dangerous for every single New Yorker.
From the Midwest on down to the Mid-Atlantic, a third straight day of air quality alerts.
When you walk outside, it burns, it stings a little bit, and we both have respiratory issues, so it's really hard to breathe.
Air quality advisories in more than a dozen states. Apocalyptic scenes from Chicago to New York.
All of this smoke combined with this oppressive heat wave can make for a dangerous combination, especially for those with pre-existing conditions. So New York City is actually handing out free KN95 masks at public libraries and police and fire stations.
Detroit and Chicago among the major cities with the worst air quality worldwide, with visitors to the Windy City feeling the effects.
Come out the subway, chest started to give me some issues, nose was burning, I can taste it.
Milwaukee officials recording their worst ever air quality, more than double the previous record number. Many across the nation choosing to wear masks. The hazy conditions also impacting flights. One Delta pilot telling passengers not to worry as a smoky smell invaded the cabin flying over New York.
So if you do smell that little bit of smoke, that's what we're going through right now. Just want to let you guys know that's from the wildfires out west.
Haze triggering flight delays in Philadelphia. Ash even sticking to an American Airlines plane in flight.
Yeah, it's adhering to the windshield. I've never seen it stick to the windshield like this.
Weird.
Now that smoke is set to move further south as we go through the day today into Virginia and Washington, D.C. before hopefully clearing out for most over the weekend. But there is a chance that for many people in the U.S. that smoke is going to return, Michael, next week.
Ish. You'll be fine. Experts warn that breathing New York City's smoke-filled air is equivalent to smoking 10 cigarettes. I've smoked thousands. Dang, that is a wall of smoke. Look at that. Whoa. gross. Oh, husband of Code Pink founder Neville Roy Singham. Yeah. Being investigated under federal foreign agent and tax laws. This announced, updated yesterday, okay. Under criminal investigation by a grand jury in the Southern District of New York. Possible violations of FARA has since expanded into a criminal tax probe over whether money was unlawfully funneled through nonprofits he controls and whether he lied on the tax forms for those nonprofits, the 990s. Yeah. Starting to heat up, man. Just a little. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, give me stuff. There's yesterday.
A quick reminder to our viewers, we'll be watching tonight's presidential address and listening to what the president says tonight. But we're not going to take it live, as we've been discussing. That's because this president, sadly, has a history of misleading and in some cases simply false statements.
Oh, yeah, something that you, the media, would never do. Ever. Of course.
On what we've been talking about tonight, election security and integrity. Also, the White House earlier today said he would be showing newly classified documents, so we want to make sure that we have time to review those documents, talk to experts about them, contextualize whatever he says or shows before airing it. But if there is news, we will bring it to you ASAP.
Complete with shitty hard spin. Don't worry, my friends, they will tell you how to think. And if there's anything too uncomfortable, well, they'll just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it sounds bad when you hear about it, right? That voter data is available to China. But the reality is voter files in the United States are public.
That's not what they're saying.
Basic information in that, your name, your address, if you register with a political party, as many people do in some states, whether you voted in a particular election or not, that's public. And the reason for that is the parties and campaigns want that information to engage in voter outreach. There are states like Ohio and North Carolina that literally have it up on the web. You can Google it right now and you can get it for free. You can get 1 out of 10 records in the United States from the California Secretary of State right now for $100. It's widely available to many. I think most in the election world have always assumed that nation states and others were accessing this information. There's nothing that anyone can actually do with that information. It's not like you could
Are you fucking kidding me?
Affect a voter with that information. It's not like you could change their voter registration with this public data. It's not like you could vote on behalf of that voter. It's kind of like I might have the entire class list for a college or university, but that doesn't mean I can go in and change the grades. And that's what's happening here. This is not really a big concern. And as Margaret just pointed out,
yeah, keep reading your notes, buddy.
This is not new information. We've known that
keep reading the lines.
China,
read the line.
Perhaps other adversaries were collecting information on this for years, and certainly we have that memo from April of 2020 that indicates the intelligence community clearly told the president and others in leadership about this, about China doing this.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, I think it's a very significant.
Oh, here's Catherine Herridge. Cool.
Well, I think it's a very significant announcement, not only what he said, but the fact that they are releasing these documents so that we can really fact check the claims we heard this evening. I've been digging into the documents already, and I found this November 2020 email, and it specifically states, it's a conversation among intelligence officials. It specifically states that they have, quote, deliberately massaged one of our pending PDBs, that's the president's daily brief, to avoid any direct links to the election, and that is consistent with my reporting. I understand the whistleblower complaint alleged, and I think we're now seeing it in the emails, that there was an intentional effort to suppress intelligence about China's influence operations. And this was, Katie, like a massive effort, what they call a multi-domain operation. That means trade, it means diplomacy, it means open source information, it means social media. So all the levers of power China had to influence the U.S. election.
Oh, and now we get Mr. Solomon.
Conservative journalist John Solomon. He is an advisor to President Trump. He's leading a government transparency
conservative journalist
task force for the White House. He's also the man behind a lot of the research and the reporting that the president cited as true in this speech tonight. John, you heard the president. You also heard the senator say none of it is true or not new or not significant, and others have said that as well. Your response?
Well, listen,
you're not true or significant.
Talked to the intelligence chiefs.
Loser.
In the last few days as we got prepared for this. It's very important to understand, the president said this tonight, every intelligence chief vetted this speech. They made sure it was accurate. They told me they had never been briefed on the size of the breaches, the 230 million Americans, the 220 million Americans whose data was stolen, that they consider it a security breach. How many times on your network have you reported that 5 countries are capable of hacking our election machines? When is the last time you reported that Venezuela actually succeeded in breaching a machine which has implications for our future security? You haven't, because it was never made public. It has not been made to Congress. It has not been told to the president in the past. We checked the presidential daily briefs. President was kept from this information. Now we have a chance to fix a glass chin of election security, make the 26th election more secure than the last 3.
John, did the president, in his address tonight, we know he likes to ad-lib, did he overstep the information that you provided to him in any way, shape, or form?
Not that I've seen. I mean, I have to go back and compare everything, but no, I think the president stayed right where the intelligence community gave us this information, where it resides, and that is, we had a glass chin. We knew our election machines are vulnerable. We didn't patch them. We knew 230 million Americans' voter data was stolen by Chinese spies. Now think about this. When Equifax had the 147 million person breach 10 years ago, it was one of the biggest stories, one of the biggest data breaches. And this is larger than that. A foreign enemy has the ability now to register American voters, and that is something that concerned the intelligence committee. Thousands of pages of reports that we went through. We put several hundred of them out tonight. But if all of us are worried about when our bank account gets compromised, we should be just as worried when our voter file gets compromised, because it may affect a future election.
So what's the president's next move here tonight?
He laid out several steps. One of them is for tomorrow, the Homeland Security Secretary to begin briefing reporters at the White House on what the machine fixes are. Patches, very simple things that will fix those machines. By the way, the first people to raise concerns about the very patches we're talking about, 2 Democratic senators back in 2019. But these are going to get fixed now, 7 years later. The second thing is the Homeland Security Department needs to figure out what to do to make sure we can deal with this identity theft, so that when people vote, they are the person they say they are, in some form hasn't monkeyed with the system. And then third, he made very clear, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, they have to go back and find out why the intelligence analysts kept this from a president, kept this from a Congress, kept this from the American people. I have found no evidence in all the documents the intelligence committee gave me that people like Senator Mark Warner knew about this. Now, if he knew about it, maybe he should have told us earlier.
But John, you know, the voting rolls that China has allegedly compromised, they are public rolls. That's the information.
They're not all.
They're not all. Okay. So then tell me this.
No, they're not.
What could China
just because some states do it like fucking morons doesn't mean all of them do.
Potentially do, because this is the headline that comes out of this tonight. 220 million compromised voter rolls. What can China potentially do, from your understanding, with that information?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tony. When your reporters look at the National Intelligence Council assessment from January of 2020, there are 6 things it was assessed. This means all the intelligence community agrees together. 6 things they can do. They can vote in your name, and you would show up one day, and you wouldn't be able to vote because they'll tell you someone else voted for you. They could.
Oh, so in other words, exactly what we heard people reporting in certain areas of the country.
Register you in another location. You would never know that they voted for you in another location because they have all your data.
Oh, another thing we've heard.
Everything they need to fill out a legitimate registration form. They could go and change something on your address, and when you showed up with your ballot or with your ID, it's like, oh, you're not that person. You're registered at another address. All of those things were imagined by our intelligence community. They warned about it. They called it the softest of vulnerabilities, the most severe vulnerabilities our system had. It gets hacked, and then they don't tell any of us. You know, we get informed when our bank accounts are taken. Why shouldn't we get informed when our voter records were taken?
Well, we're getting informed tonight. John, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're in our closing minutes here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Who dis? Oh, fake news, John Carl. Going on TV to accuse President Trump of lying, of course.
The president made some extraordinary allegations. I mean, he said that our election system, our security is catastrophically short.
Yeah, it is.
It dangerously exposed to hacking.
Yep, it is.
When you have no trust, there is no greatness, and we can't trust our election systems. But looking through these documents, we have a lot more to look through. I don't see anything that comes anywhere near making that case. What I see is documents presented that are intended to raise doubts about our security, but nothing that suggests there is actually a security issue with our elections. The president made some extraordinary allegations. I mean, he said that our election system, our security is catastrophically short. Yep.
Oh, now Mark Warner. Oh, geez, this should be funny.
And a matter of fact, before I start, as an American, not an elected official, I was embarrassed that the President of the United States went before our whole country, and networks like yours carried this as news, as opposed to a rehash of falsehoods. And it is incumbent upon you and any responsible journalist to push back on these falsehoods. I've been either chairman or vice chairman of the Intelligence Committee for the last decade.
If I may, on that point, since you raised it.
If I may just finish, sir. If I may, sir, finish, sir. If we don't call into question these falsehoods, this president is he's going to lose a free and fair election. And unless responsible journalists and the American people step up and say, our system, which has stood the test of time, is not going to be undermined by this kind of falsehoods, then, you know, we all will have to live with those responsibilities.
The worst. Yeah, we've had to suffer through that asshole for way too long here.
I don't think the president left any gray area or area for interpretation. This was about get, save, pass. That was the last thing he said. But let me just address some of what you said, Brian. It is a different era now than it was in 18 or in 20. This massively different. I sit on the advisory board of 2 quantum cybersecurity companies. I know something about this. AI and the threat of hacking using modern AI technology has made all of our systems, both public and private, more vulnerable than they have ever been. We know it's been proven, both by our own intelligence agencies as well as the private sector, that China has been data farming, harvesting data, both public and private, from the United States, from U.S. citizens, data they cannot even access yet.
Downstream.
until their cyber techniques enable them to do so. It is a different threat today than it was in 2020 and 2018, and that's part of why the president was so forward-looking. We didn't hear the moaning and complaining and kvetching, if you will, to use a very New York term, about what happened in the past. This was raising alarms about what could happen in the future. The threat is different. The threat is very real.
Yes.
He said kvetching. That's fucking awesome. That's hilarious. The intelligence community. Sorry. It's gross. Yeah. Been feeling this like all night. Gross, man. The intelligence community deliberately massaged the president's daily brief back in 2020 to avoid sharing key analysis and information with President Trump. Just, they didn't want him to know. China and North Korea strategic assessments. Wow. Jeez. Senator Warner appeared to claim last night, says John Solomon, that he knew China had obtained 220 million American voter records, and that our voting machines are vulnerable to being hacked by a foreign power. Virtually every document he has cited, the intelligence community in a bipartisan way has seen and reviewed, he told CBS. If you knew, why not do something? It's been 6 years. Yeah, vote for the SAVE Act, fag. You won't. UK accuses China of cyber attacks targeting voter data and lawmakers. Published, look at that, in 2024 by the New York Times. More from Solomon. Cool.
I think I can speak for the country to thank Bill Pulte and yourself and your task force. What you accomplished, this speech tonight, on the work that you guys have done in the last, 3.5, 4 weeks, after 6 years of this nonsense, as we now know goes even back that maybe to 2018 or before, is just nothing short of monumental and heroic. So first off, I want to give you guys a thanks for giving the president finally the information from the intelligence to do it. Tell us about it. What did you think of the speech?
Yeah, first off, President Trump deserves the credit for allowing this to happen. The intelligence officers who work day in and night, I've had people working 18 hours a day to get this work done. They deserve the credit. They found this stuff. I don't have a class security clearance, so they go get it, and then we figure out what makes sense for the American public, and we release it. Tonight's the opening salvo. It's the beginning of a longer exfiltration of information in the intelligence community. But what's important about tonight is to understand actionable intelligence, things that actually affected our security of our elections were not being told to the president. They were not being told to Congress. Policymakers couldn't make a decision because bureaucrats decided they were more important than a president or a congressman. And I'm very concerned about that ethos, because if it does it in elections, what about a foreign power, a war? What if someone doesn't want to tell the president about something else? There's a cultural stain in the intelligence community that this data shows. Now, we're going to have to go back and look at other issues and see if this was a pattern in other forms of intelligence.
John, is there some effort by the intelligence community in this process over the last 4 weeks? I mean, as I've been telling people, to do this in 3.5 or 4 weeks, and to you review, I think 10.5 or 11 million pages of classified documents and declassify the thousands you declassified to back up this speech, is monumental in itself.
Yep.
But that means at least there was some scintilla of cooperation by certain elements of the intelligence community. Is that how we're going to take care of this problem? That there are people there that are prepared to work with the president and work with his administration to get to the bottom of this and clean it up?
Absolutely. And I want to point out something that's really important, Steve. Every intelligence chief was extraordinarily cooperative. The NSA director, the CIA director, the FBI director, the Department of Justice and Attorney General Blanche, everybody cooperated. Everybody dug in. They got a lot on their plate. They got wars and they've got issues all around this country. They're cleaning up crime and solving the border. Secretary Mullen, every single one of them took time and put resources to this to find the documents quickly. Some of the information that we found, the intelligence chiefs themselves said, I didn't know about this. First time I'm seeing it. I should have known about it. I think that's where this mystery starts next, or where it goes next. We need to figure out how actionable intelligence, things that are important, aren't getting to the people who should have it under the Constitution, the people entrusted with our security, the president and Congress. Then we have to figure out why would a case like the one the president mentioned in Michigan not get prosecuted. Then we have to understand, why did we go 6 years with election machines that people knew were vulnerable? I just heard Mark Warner said, oh, I knew the machines were vulnerable. Well, what'd you do for the last 6 years? Earn your salary in the Senate. Go get them fixed. Those are the things that are really troubling. And the truth of the matter is, most of the briefings that the president got didn't have any of this in there. There's one document I saw, it's like 39 really important things that the intelligence community found about China and election meddling in 2020. Only 5 were ever briefed to a president. Only 5. That means 34 very important things that the CIA thought were important. They were being suppressed from a president. That is criminal from a national security standpoint. Now, whether it become criminal in a court of law needs to be determined. But the president, you heard him tonight, I want accountability. CIA director, NSA director, fire those who hid this. FBI director, go out and see if you can prosecute the Michigan case. So this comes with fixes and accountability. And if they do both of that, we enter into the November 26 elections with a lot more confidence that we're having a secure election in 26.
Oh man, Mark Elias, you loser. MSNBC and Mark Elias in full panic mode. Trump's election integrity speech is lies and a setup for troops at polling places and challenging midterms. These guys been years gaslighting on fraud and foreign interference while defending every vulnerability, and now freak out at the idea of actual evidence and secure elections. Yeah.
And chair of the Elias Law Group. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, sir.
Mark,
thanks for having me.
Dude, you and I, kindred souls, spirits in this.
Yeah, you're both liars. You're both scumbags.
This crazy fight right now. I'm nervous not for what Donald Trump may ad-lib or say, because I know what he's going to say. He's going to lie through every inch of his fiber. What I'm concerned about is how ready are we right now to get in position for the next 3 months. Because this, as I said before, is the lead, the salvo for the executive orders and the decisions and the pronouncements that are going to come after this administration to justify putting troops at polling places, to justify taking data from.
They know what's coming, especially this fuck.
Election sites, or worse, saying, hey, there's too much foreign interference that our DNI is telling us about, that we have to shut down the election altogether.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Michael. You know, there is one part of this that is a story about sour grapes and a president that cannot let go the fact that he lost the 2020 election. And look, I was proud to have represented President Biden and the Democratic Party in defeating Donald Trump in those cases. But this is not just about the past. This is, Michael, as you say, about the future. It is about what we are doing for the next 3 and 4 months as we lead up to this election. Donald Trump is sowing the seeds today to challenge the outcome of elections when he loses. He's going to try to disrupt them, and when that fails, he's going to challenge them. He's going to say that they are the result of massive fraud, and we have seen what happens when he does that. He goes to court and he loses, and when that doesn't work, he resorts to extrajudicial means. So look, everyone who is ready to watch this speech, Donald Trump is going to lie. He lies about everything. He lies about his height. He lies about his weight. He lies about his health. He lies about his mental acuity. He lies about his
fucking prove it
relationship with foreign leaders. He lies like most people breathe air, and he's going to lie tonight about the elections.
Why not just prove it, bag?
And we need to understand that this is not about fact-checking the occasional falsehood buried in truth.
So why are you here preemptively trying to poison people's opinion without even knowing precisely exactly what's coming? Unless you do. Oh, do you? Rather than, I don't know, waiting and just addressing the evidence for the people and saying, here, see, it's a lie. This is a lie. And here's why you know it's a lie. Because you can see in this other document that it's a lie. Because this is the truth. Right there. Black and white. Why do this?
This is about one lie after another lie after another lie. I would hope, though I don't think it will be the case, that those local network outlets will simply label his clips lies.
Without, of course, actually proving any of it. It's a lie, citizen. You need look no further. Don't worry, we've done it for you.
As a president who has an approval rating stuck in the 30s and who faces what appears to be losses in the midterms, and we'll see, because an election's an election. People get to vote. He has made it his mission to cast doubt on that upcoming election, right? That's what all those things add up to. And damage may already have been done. Repeatedly saying that America's elections are rigged and broken and dirty has eroded confidence in the bedrock of American democracy. It has already done damage. Kevin Liptak is out front live outside the White House. And Kevin, what more are you learning about what Trump is going to say about elections tonight?
Yeah, we now understand, Aaron, there are a few major buckets that the president plans to address in this speech, and one is this question of foreign interference. The president does plan to reveal what he says will be new information about foreign attempts to influence or interfere in U.S. elections, and in particular from China. Now, this is a question that has been relitigated over and over, including in that 2021 intelligence assessment, but the president will say that he has new information on that front. We also understand that the president plans to address this question of election systems vulnerability, including voting machines. Again, an area that has been repeatedly the subject of conspiracies, often fueled by President Trump himself. You know, the president has talked about this so much and hasn't been able to furnish any proof for his claims. The difference, according to White House officials in this speech, is that he will be providing evidence, and that evidence will be provided to the American people. It has been the product of this months-long work by a task force. It was headed by the conservative journalist John Solomon to go through intelligence, find areas that can be declassified. It was fueled along by the new acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, who, when he came into this position, worked to find documents that would be able to fuel some of the president's claims about elections. Now, nothing that we have understood in our reporting about this speech tonight suggests that anything the president says will claim that the 2020 election results will have been different. There's nothing that we have seen in what we have been described that election would have turned out any differently. Of course, the real fear is that the president, in describing these vulnerabilities, is just trying to undermine confidence in elections writ large. Aaron.
Right. Well, certainly that's that's the outcome. And any country trying to influence foreign elections that wants a weaker U.S. democracy certainly will be celebrating to hear the President of the United States speak in a speech like this tonight.
Unreal, man. Tonight, Trump to spew election conspiracies in prime time.
Luke, look.
Cards.
Dude, here's where I am on this. We've been saying at this table for a long while now, our audience knows this very well. We've been warning about this moment. We've been saying the predicate has...
It's almost like you're among the guilty parties.
Been building and is being set. It started with the Project 2025 narrative coming into this political cycle. Here we are. This is a continuation of it. It'll be a justification for what comes next. This, folks, is to set up what will come next. Look for pronouncements and executive orders and other actions by this administration to crap all over your ability to vote. But here's the rub. You have a former Trump administration official.
Yeah, your ability to vote, what illegally? Your ability to vote 10 times in 10 different states?
Official saying anonymously to Politico this: the people I talk to are scared blankless. It's not scared blankless about the text of what he's going to say. It's what he does add to the text, what he says extra. He goes on to note, what we should be talking about is the economy and how we move the country forward. Instead, we're looking back, Luke.
How is he? But he does that. He does that all the time. Like every other day.
I don't have a message on the economy right now.
I'm sorry. What?
Because the economy is tanked and his approval rating.
I'm sorry, what?
Are underwater for it. I think what we're seeing tonight is I agree.
I think
this is something that's very troubling. This is I won't say opening salvo because we've had so many. Yeah. This is another one that's going down this path of, I want to interfere in the midterm, so I'm going to create some sort of justification to do it. And in this case, it's going to be foreign interference. That's why Tulsi Gabbard was down in Georgia not long ago. Apparently, some reporting is saying that there was Chinese interference. Now, this is something we did not hear about in the years afterwards. I think it would have been a pretty big story that the Biden administration would have jumped in on.
Well, actually, John Ratcliffe, who was DNI, discredited that in the report, who is now his CIA director. So, okay, it's hard to figure out
who's who and what's there. But I just say this really quickly. I think it's very important tonight that the media contextualizes this speech properly. And I think what the Trump administration is going to do masterfully is give this speech. It's going to go out on local.
So did Ratcliffe do that? Was that before or after he was, head of the CIA? I was before.
News.
Oh. Almost like you learn new things and get access to new information.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
This is in Maine. Okay, what qualifications, Ashley Webb?
What qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times.
Oh, that's Ashley.
Win, but he didn't run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books, and then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived.
Yeah, but has anyone posited to you that your entire existence is, as it stands, is deceiving people? Or, well, attempting to very clumsily and entirely unsuccessfully, but attempting to.
Right now, like.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you...
Your life is a lie, sir.
Transparency, and then books, and then I suppose my transparency.
My transparency.
I wouldn't lie to the people and I wouldn't deceive the people.
Yeah. Don't worry, you can trust her.
And then with the trans community, like, we're being dehumanized.
Oh, here it
They
goes.
say that
Here it goes.
we want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom.
Which bathroom?
And if they want me to use the men's room, I will.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one we want you to use.
I don't want to be assaulted. And then
no one's going to assault you. They're probably going to run.
But I did this because...
Oh, there's more? Here we have Maine Democrat Elizabeth Dickerson.
But I did this because I'm very interested in climate, and President Trump has done about everything he can do to strip away any protections that we have on climate. But I did this because...
Would you like to expand on that, please? Please, I'd love to hear the science. Or whatever you think is the science. Let's see. Come on, please. Love to hear if it can go any deeper than that. Something tells me probably not. It ends about yay deep.
I took it as very...
I'm a fan of climate, and I want to save climate. And what Trump has done on climate is bad.
Serious praise. Someone said recently, Andy's all right.
Andy Burnham. Oh, this is their new guy, huh? Labor's new leader. This his mission is to bring back hope. I am for us, all of us. All the Browns, I imagine. Yes.
He's for us. I was so proud of that I made it my slogan in Bakerfield. I am for us, for all of us. And I want people to say once again that Labour are for us. I want that to just fall off people's tongues, and we can do it. We can be that party, the party that puts more power in people's hands, drives good growth in every postcode, and puts hope in every heart, that gets the country pulling together again and moves beyond the divisions of recent years. All people and all places, public and private sectors, in a new sense of unity and common cause. That's my mission as your new leader, to bring back hope. I believe in all of you, and I am confident we can do it. Thank you very much, Andy.
Yeah. Iran reeling after Trump ordered CENTCOM to begin targeting infrastructure targets, causing power outages and destruction of bridges, as he said.
The president's threat to hit Iran's infrastructure with fresh attacks and bridges and roads around the largest port city along the Strait of Hormuz. The hope is it'll get Tehran to stop attacking ships and prevent them from attacking those ships and start focusing on peace. Peter Doocy is live from the White House with the latest. Peter, there seems to be a game plan, a deliberate game plan in place here.
Absolutely, Brian. The war planners here at the White House are trying something different. They started bombing overnight roads and bridges around Bandar Abbas. We have a map that we can put up. The U.S. is trying to take out these bridges and roads, hoping to isolate the IRGC so they cannot resupply their people near Bandar Abbas, which is the key to controlling the Strait of Hormuz. We have a different map of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This one is a pinch point of the Red Sea, and the Iranians are trying to get one of their terror group proxies, the Houthis, to cut that one off. And experts are saying even a few small attacks there could be severely disruptive to global shipping.
Look at how bad they are behaving. It just proves the president's initial point for launching Operation Epic Fury in the first place. Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. They have expressed they still want to make a deal to the president. We're talking to them, but again, the president is not going to allow them to fire on ships in the Strait without paying a consequence for that.
And the fact that the Iranians are now engaging, trying to activate one of their terror proxies to disrupt shipping in a different part of the world means that they are violating yet another part of that memorandum of understanding, the part that says they cannot engage with their terror proxies. So it seems like there are at least some elements within Iran who are trying to force President Trump's hand as he sits in the White House right now and decides whether or not he should escalate the war or go back to talks. Brian.
A lot at stake. Thanks so much, Peter.
Oh, Schumer gets asked about the fart again.
Senator.
I know it's the same one, but I'll play it because it's just so great.
The election certificates of Senator Ossoff, Senator Warnock. Senator Jacob with TMZ, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor?
Thanks, everybody. Let's get back up on the sidewalk.
Senator.
Invalidate the election certificates of Senator Ossoff, Senator Warnock.
Senator Jacob with TMZ, did you fart yesterday on the Senate floor?
You bet he did. You bet. Tim Burchett tells. Oh, it gets a little comment on the fart.
Hey, I was wondering if you heard Chuck Schumer kind of pass gas. It sounded like he passed gas when he was up there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I think he'd just been to Taco Bell.
Got a little of that, whatever the fuck that nasty with the parasite or something. Gross.
I saw that, yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a little sort of embarrassing if that's really what happened, but also like it's so natural and kind of relatable. Is it relatable to you?
I mean, I squeak them out sometimes.
No, because everybody says, oh, you can eat that, it's organic. I said, well, dadgum horse manure is organic. I don't eat it.
I mean, when it comes to Taco Bell, no.
Fair. You've never had that sort of like, you know, bubbling in your stomach and needed to do that while you're giving a big speech?
I'm 61. If I pass the bathroom, it's just by accident, all right? I go in as much as I can.
So would you like sort of like reassure Chuck Schumer that you know we all
Chuck,
do?
It's okay, baby. You're human. If you need me, I'm here.
Ah, very good, mate. Would you eat Taco Bell today? Like, would you go on if someone?
Nope. Definitely not, sir.
Offered you some free.
Probably the safest time to eat Taco Bell would be today. It's kind of like flying on an airplane after a bad accident. You know, the next day it's the safest day you could ever fly.
That's probably true. Hey, thank you, man.
Okay, we saw that. Wildfire stuff. Oh, here's some more. We didn't see this.
It doesn't necessarily smell like a campfire burning because as the smoke is carried across thousands of miles, sunlight breaks down these compounds, leaving behind toxic substances like
yummy
benzene and formaldehyde, which is why the air can smell like chemicals. The American Lung Association,
because it is,
warning of the long-lasting impacts from this, saying these particles can penetrate deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream. Particle pollution triggers asthma attacks, heart attacks, and strokes, and can kill. So what can you do for your safety? Stay inside with the AC on as much as possible when air quality alerts are issued for your area, and wear an N95 mask to block the particles when outside. Changing your car's cabin filter and using an air purifier at home are also small steps you can take to make a big difference. It doesn't necessarily smell like a campfire burning because as the
Okay, Cruz removes screens in Trump's 24-karat gold statues. Oh yeah, we've seen these. Amazing. Stunning. Wow. That's what they let that turn into. That gorgeous, beautiful work. Gold. Lots of gold. We love gold. Home Depot has added, Arabic language signing. Arabic language signage inside its Dearborn, Michigan store. How accommodating.
What's wrong with this picture?
Oh my gosh. Get out.
Oh, in Michigan.
No. If you want to, you can learn fucking English. Actually, no, you can just go. You can just go. You can just go home to wherever you came from, and you can stay there.
I guess that spells bath.
Look at that thing. What possessed you to wear that, ma'am? A demon? I don't know what else could like get someone to wear a trash bag.
For anyone who
The cops are coming. Yeah.
Ooh, New York is ours now. Uber drivers' comments go viral. Let's hear it.
The cops are coming.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna call. Okay, Mamdani is in now, so
yeah. That doesn't mean shit.
The cops
bro.
are gonna come and whoop your ass.
No.
And throw you in jail.
No.
Keep you there all night.
No, you can't just cancel an Uber ride with people in your thing, and now we gotta type the navigation to go back to where we gotta go.
New York is ours now.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Whatever the brown people say goes now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how it is?
That's exactly how it is.
So we're just gonna be unethical now.
Yeah. You know, from next month on, you need a fucking visa to come to Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll work.
The fuck?
Work on my visa.
Yeah,
work on getting me to my fucking destination.
You got a visa on you?
I don't have a visa on me. I'm a U.S. citizen.
How many minutes is? Then get the fuck out of
Bloody fuck you.
my Uber car.
Dude, don't you worry about how many minutes it's
Bloody
fucking
bastard bitch.
going on. We need
Bloody
to
fuck
move the car.
This is our city. You're not welcome here. Go back to wherever the fuck you came from.
Yeah. The cops are coming.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the video? Gives me that.
Then you go to hill and go down. Why you get frightened? If you want to go, then you.
No. Give me the whole thing. The whole thing. Yes. Yes, I understand. Inappropriate.
Yeah. If you want to go, then you go to hill and go down. Why you get frightened?
If you want to go to hell, you go to hell and go down.
Are you crazy?
Damn, you told him.
You are fucking, you bloody, fuck you, bloody, bastard, bitch, fuck you, bloody, fuck you, bloody, fucking mother, bloody, fuck, bitch, you, bloody, fuck you fucking bloody bastard, benchwood, bloody, you blunder, no, but
you blunder,
bloody, no, bloody, fucking,
no, you blunder,
and then what you wanna do? Why you fuck me, I fuck you, bloody bastard. Fucking running like lady, eh? Bloody. What the fuck, man? fucking no shout at me.
Fucking running like lady, huh?
Why are you shouting at me?
Because I am going to the work. If you don't do, you do the other places.
Why are you shouting?
Because of this, you are doing. I don't know. You are doing like this. I think you are going to accident.
No, shouting at me no good, man. Me no shout at you.
But the thing is that.
I'm sorry, but like, why would you ever let this into your country?
Like this one, you are going at work and somebody else.
But that like one, if you're running like that one, you're gonna fucking fall, innit? But hurting yourself.
But yeah, because of this, I saved myself.
That one very icy road, man. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye.
I'm freaking you.
Have a nice day. Oh my gosh, it never gets old. It's so good. Classic.
Bro, I'm gonna call. Okay, Mamdani is in now.
Bloody fuck you.
For politivist.
Okay. Former Democrat rep. Oh, Cory Bush is still a current congressional candidate. Jeez. Now under investigation. What, again? By Missouri Attorney General for allegedly funneling charity donations for devastating tornado nonprofit for political spending. You gotta be kidding me.
For politivist.
She really does use that word a lot. A leadership.
She must have learned it somewhere. I guarantee you she didn't come up with a scheme herself. She just... This is like her 80 IQ version of it.
PAC, an action PAC, and now Politivist Power Inc., which Bush called in her own fundraising emails a 501c4, a nonprofit, not political. Except the records show money going from that nonprofit into the PAC that pays her and her husband. And one of those nonprofit emails asked people to, quote, donate to our tornado fund. At a campaign stop Monday morning, I repeated questions we already sent her campaign in writing 6 days earlier.
How much did you take in, and where did it go?
You know what? You have been told multiple times that that is a PAC that I cannot speak to as a candidate.
Her fundraising emails include this disclaimer, telling donors the PAC and the nonprofit are not affiliated.
I'm sorry for the confusion. This was not about the PAC. This was actually about the you called it a 501c4 in emails and said it was a charity?
I cannot speak to. I can speak to what I just did. That's what I can speak to.
Just to clarify, this question is about Politivist Power Inc.
Mr. Maxwell. You have been instructed already.
So we moved on. 10 minutes and several questions later, I tried again for an answer. Bush's campaign manager, Stephanie Rose Spalding, whose name also appears on the PAC payroll, shut it down.
Congressman, can you please
clarify? Can we have a question from someone who has not asked the question?
Here's
has not asked the question.
The part that might surprise you, a lot of this is probably legal. We took it all to someone who does this for a living.
One of the biggest issues with 501c4 nonprofits, which are not technically supposed to exist for political purposes, they don't have to disclose their donors, they don't have to disclose much spending.
So when Bush says this,
and we'll do it with no dirty money.
Important to note, part of her own money trail hits a wall, and not by accident. That's how these groups are built to work.
What it ultimately means is the money is going to a 501c4 nonprofit that is not legally required to disclose its donors to the Federal Election Commission.
And yes, we've dug into the outside money helping Wesley Bell too, and we've reported it. The difference now is that Bell's donors are public. This trail is not. The candidate who runs on honesty
shouldn't you be able to run on the truth?
Still owes this district some answers about the web of committees she controls and where the money lands. We did send the questions once more in writing after the event today. Tonight, the campaign says it's still not really sure what we're asking and that, hey, we're already past the deadline. All right, fine. Here's the short list of what we still don't know. How much she raised on that tornado fund, she won't tell us. How much reached actual relief for tornado victims, there's no paperwork that we've seen yet. Who the donors are, the law doesn't make her tell us that part. And what she's doing in that role with that group now that she's running for Congress, no answer on that part.
Round of applause for the local news. Jeez. Fantastic. That is how investigative reporting should be done. That is like top tier. Excellent. So much better than the fucking, pardon me, slop. Absolute garbage slop that you get just about everywhere else in national mainstream media. This is like, I wish we just had this everywhere. Oh, hold on. House Budget Committee advances SAVE Act in reconciliation, which needs just 50 votes, and J.D. Vance in the Senate. So maybe, but you know, we'll see. Personally, I wouldn't get too hung up on the SAVE Act passing this month or even next month. I would look for it a little bit closer to the election. A little bit closer to the midterms. Just my guess. But I must say, I made some pretty good guesses lately. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is moving to revoke tax-exempt status and crack down on left-wing organizations who fund violence and Antifa.
Today pushing allies to confront what he calls a growing far-left terror threat, telling more than 60 countries that violence has become a global problem.
We are facing a transnational threat. These are not distinct and isolated cells. They are interconnected networks. It has always been driven by a hatred, above all else, a hatred for civilization itself. It is perpetrated by those who cannot build, who cannot create, who cannot achieve great things, and take their revenge upon the world for their own inadequacy by seeking to destroy those who can. This is what radical leftism is.
Correspondent Alexandria Hoff is at the State Department for us. Hi, Alex.
Hi, John. Yeah, you know, as you heard there was a lot of emotion in Secretary Rubio's remarks today. It really centered around dispelling this idea that these far left-wing groups are maybe too disorganized, they lack any kind of central force, or that they're too fringe to be an urgent threat. He said that is not the case. Listen.
We've been taught to believe that this kind of political violence, it simply doesn't exist, or it's being exaggerated. But it does exist, and we're actually underestimating it. And our nations bear the scars to prove it.
The Secretary highlighting that many of the 65 nations represented today share a distant and a recent history of targets of far-left extremism. Today's summit really was a call for solidarity in this amplified fight to combat what the administration sees as escalating violence at the hands of far left-wing groups.
Excuse me. Okay. Trump media to sell high-speed access to Trump's Truth Social posts so large trading firms can get posts milliseconds early. What? That's interesting. Really interesting, actually. Huh. Gonna get a lot of scrutiny. Just watch. Canada will now face U.S. sanctions legislation from Senator Bernie Moreno, going after any officials responsible for the wildfires wreaking havoc on Americans' health in multiple states. Yeah, it's gross. Like, as you all have visibly and audibly experienced today, like, it's I'm feeling it. It's disgusting.
At the Meadowlands in New Jersey, where the World Cup final is going to be played on Sunday. The stadium, look at that, it's covered in this thick haze from the wildfire smoke from Canada and northern Minnesota.
That's about what it looks like here. It's gross.
Yep, the smoke is spreading across the U.S., triggering air quality alerts in 20 states.
Chandler Painter joins us with the details on these dangerous conditions. Good morning, Chandler.
Yeah, hey guys, I don't know about you, but that smoke overnight still irritating my eyes. And the effects are not just here in New York City. That dense haze is choking areas
areas all across the Northeast and upper Midwest with air quality alerts in 20 states, like you said. Minneapolis's air quality among the worst in the world among major cities. Air quality in Minneapolis entered the hazardous category Wednesday after reaching an air quality index of 460. For reference, a hazardous AQI is categorized as 300 and above, so that's really bad there. Detroit and Chicago are also experiencing those dangerous air quality levels. Take a listen to how some people in Detroit are reacting. Watch.
I think about the people who have asthma and bad lungs. We have a friend of mine now that's in urgent care because of the smoke.
My dog has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and we actually canceled it because my ride is my aunt, and she's got asthma.
Yep, it is nasty. Oh, look it. Oh, the sex pest. Told you. Ruben Gallego entering panic mode after sources say he admitted to being a sex pest.
Alleges that Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego had relationships with multiple House staffers. 3 unnamed sources telling the New York Post that Senator Ruben Gallego admitted to 2 relationships, both with aides to Texas House Democrats. Both relationships were reportedly consensual and happened while Gallego was still serving in the House. The 46-year-old senator was asked about the report, and when asked about the report, Gallego said, quote, "I'm not going to engage in gossip."
I am, however, going to engage in sexual relationships with my staffers.
Gallego's life is under scrutiny after the sexual assault and misconduct accusations against Gallego's one-time friend, Congressman Eric Swalwell.
One time.
Joining us now to break this all down is CBS News election law contributor David Becker. He's also
David Becker will totally break it all down. Yeah.
Also the executive director and founder of the Nonpartisan Center for
totally nonpartisan. Yeah.
Election Innovation and Research.
Yeah.
Good morning. There is a lot going on in our country right now. We've got wars, inflation. Why did the president give this primetime address largely discussing debunked claims about election integrity?
Boy, that's the big question, isn't it? I can't really answer that question because if you look at the evidence that was actually presented last night, that this administration has compiled over 18 months in total control of the federal government, using all of the resources of the intelligence community, the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, looking for evidence that would justify or support the false claims that the 2020 election was stolen. In fact, what was released last night largely confirmed that that election was secure. It confirmed that there was no
he's going to break these nonpartisan.
Alteration of the vote totals. There was nothing done that would have affected those vote totals. And while there's these claims of this cover-up that occurred, if you actually look back, almost all of this was known and publicly reported during 2020, during the Trump administration. A reminder that President Trump was actually the president in 2020 who was charged with protecting our infrastructure, charged with protecting us from foreign interference.
David, I want to ask you about how the president has claimed that China has collected the voter data of 220 million Americans. Should we be worried here? What is the reality?
The reality, as you just heard, is voter data is public. Every state allows for public versions of the voter data to be available. The parties use it, the candidates use it for outreach, for voter engagement. It's also good for people who want our elections to have integrity because voter lists can be checked ahead of time to see if there are any problems with them, perhaps to challenge individual voters who might not be eligible, who might have moved away, et cetera. So every state has this publicly. There are states like Ohio and North Carolina that literally have it up on the web right now. You can go and find that if you just Google it. It's been long known that China is vacuuming up as much data on Americans as possible. This is probably some of the easiest data and the least concerning data that you could possibly have. There's no personally identifiable information in this. This is just the public files, and nothing that we heard last night changes that, and no one should be concerned about that.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you, David, because the president has called this, quote, an unprecedented election security nightmare. So bottom line it for us, how secure do you think our structure is, and should Americans be worried when we go to the polls in November?
Let me guess. Everything's fine.
Our system's as secure as it's ever been, Gail.
Get out. Pro-Kremlin blogger who turned on Putin arrested as Russia steps up crackdowns. Ooh. China rejects Trump's election interference claim as groundless accusations. Of course, I don't know why people have seen them, but I don't know why people would expect that China would just somehow be on board with this. She, or, you know, whoever. No. I mean, who do you think did this? What do you have? Oh, Zeldin, what you have right now is a lot of other countries that have been heavily relying on the Middle East for energy supplies. Anything else here?
Well, President Trump, as soon as he came into office, declared a national energy emergency, created a National Energy Dominance Council. It's been a whole of government approach within this administration. And the worst thing is if the president did nothing with what was going on in the Middle East and allowed Iran to be able to close down the strait, to be able to charge tolls, to be able to control what comes in and out. The strait is open because of President Trump's leadership. And long term, what you have right now is a lot of other countries that have been heavily relying on the Middle East for their energy supplies for a long time, now looking to the United States. They want to know how they could diversify their supply chain, get supplies from the U.S., understanding it takes less time for many of these Indo-Pacific countries to get their energy from the United States, and they have total freedom of navigation. So anyone who wants to look at this conflict that's going on in the Middle East, mid-range, long-term, this is going to be better for the United States than ever before. Because of unleashing energy dominance is not just big for us domestically, it's big for us as far as exports and helping our economy and national security.
CNN just admitted that media executives made a decision behind closed doors to just censor the speech.
He did the same thing as this network, CNN, last night.
Oh, look who it is.
The newsrooms monitored the speech, evaluated what was actually newsworthy, looked at the documents Trump was declassifying, and then reported on what happened. NBC and ABC both went on the air with special reports to explain that the speech had happened and to summarize what Trump had said. But most importantly, to contextualize it and fact check it, just as CNN did.
To contextualize it. Fucking disgusting.
Now, Trump was ominously claiming that the networks were part of a plot, but the only real plot here, the only intention is to remain reality-based and truth-based.
Of course, by not actually showing you the primary source material, but contextualizing it for you.
Trump's election...
Because, of course, you're incapable of doing that yourself. Fucking you idiot. You idiot CNN viewer, you.
Lies led to violence after the 2020 election. So this is a subject that really does warrant extra care and attention by journalists. And frankly, some network executives felt that it would be dangerous to just air Trump's speech live in...
Yes, dangerous because all the retards that watch CNN could take it seriously.
Full, unedited.
Without our contextualizing it for them.
Without knowing what he was going to say ahead of time. That's where we are in America. And we have been here before. I remember during some of Trump's COVID-19 briefings in 2020, he did the same thing.
What an insane piece of propaganda. Like, wow. South Florida woman says she... Oh, this is the squeeze ass lady?
I opened it up, and at first I didn't notice. I was more concerned about getting my sticker on. I said, wait a minute, something's not right here. And I looked at it, and I said, I don't think so. I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
Florida sent her that as a randomized plate. Like, somehow ended up as SQZ A55.
Has to say.
Guess there's a chance it could happen. by chance? Literally one in I don't know how many billion, but you won the lottery. Trump on True Social. Great reviews on speech last night. Big audience. Passed the SAVE Act. Thank you.
And the war planners here at the White House are trying something different. They started bombing overnight roads and bridges around Bandar Abbas. We have a map that we can put up. The U.S. is trying to take out these bridges and roads, hoping to isolate the IRGC so they cannot resupply their people near Bandar Abbas, which is the key to controlling the Strait of Hormuz. We have a different map of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This one is a pinch point of the Red Sea, and the Iranians are trying to get one of their terror group proxies, the Houthis, to cut that one off. And experts are saying even a few small attacks there could be severely disruptive to global shipping.
Look at how bad they are behaving. It just proves the president's initial point for launching Operation Epic Fury in the first place. Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. They have expressed they still want to make a deal to the president. We're talking to them, but again, the president is not going to allow them to fire on ships in the Strait without paying a consequence for that.
And the fact that the Iranians are now engaging, trying to activate one of their terror proxies to disrupt shipping in a different part of the world means that they are violating yet another part of that memorandum of understanding, the part that says they cannot engage with their terror proxies. So it seems like there are at least some elements within Iran who are trying to force President Trump's hand as he sits in the White House right now and decides whether or not he should escalate the war or go back to talks. Brian.
Senator Schumer's statement on Trump's address. Oh gosh. Tonight was a pathetic attempt by Trump to deny what we all know is true. He lost the 2020 election. The American people were fed up with Donald Trump then, and they're even more fed up with him now, even though they elected him, as he sends costs skyrocketing, bringing chaos to their streets and enriching his friends and family through rampant corruption. Trump knows he has lost American families. He knows he has made their lives more expensive, endangered their friends and families with an unnecessary war, and embarrassed the country on the global stage. And rather than pivot his policies, he's working to rig the midterm, so that's funny, before a single vote has even been cast. We won't let him. When it comes to the SAVE Act, the courts have rejected it. Congress has rejected it. Even members of your own party have rejected it. Give it up. The SAVE Act isn't going anywhere, period. See about that, buddy. Let's be clear. In America, voters choose their leaders, not the other way around. Democrats will fight like hell to make sure every American voter can cast their ballot freely. Very freely. Without obstruction or interference from Donald Trump.
Citizenship, ending mass mail-in balloting, and Democrats.
Oh gosh, hold on.
Citizenship, ending mass mail-in balloting, and Democrats have already said the quiet part out loud. They've said that if the Save America Act passes, they're not going to win another election. Why would that be? Why would securing our elections prevent Democrats from winning? And, you know, I saw a tweet yesterday from Olive Garden, of all places, that in order to take advantage of their never-ending pasta pass, you have to show voter ID. And I thought, that's weird. Olive Garden takes pasta pass security more seriously than Democrats are taking election security. So, yes, President Trump is going to keep pushing this, and it just shows how absurd the Democrats are that they can't even get behind common sense policies that even, you know, somewhere like Olive Garden can say, hey, we need this for us, too. Citizenship, ending mass mail-in balloting, and Democrats have already said the quiet part out loud. They've said that if the Save America Act passes, they're not going to win another election. Why would that be? Why would securing our elections prevent Democrats from winning? And, you know, I saw a tweet yesterday from...
Oop, sorry, let that loop. Landslide in Chongqing, China. Buried residential buildings on Friday. Whoa. Oh, damn. Ouchie. That's a boo-boo. Hundreds of water rescues amid dramatic flooding in Texas.
More than 2 feet.
2 feet of rain.
Of rain slammed the Texas Hill Country in just the past 4 days, causing deadly and dangerous floods. In Kerrville, rescue workers trudged through quickly rising water to rescue Robert Shelton and his family from their attic, the highest point they could climb to, as they waited for help.
Bam! The window broke open. Water was everywhere.
Within a blink of an eye, it was already waist level. The water got all the way up to within a foot of the attic. I was scared the house was going to break apart.
South of the Hill Country, a helicopter flight over Uvalde shows much of the city cut off by unrelenting floods. There have been more than 230 water rescues in the region, including a young child who was airlifted to safety yesterday. Back along the Guadalupe River, flood alarms blared early yesterday as the water rapidly rose.
In that video, you can see the cab of this truck, and that's all you could see above the water, and that is one of the alarms back there that was going off.
Joe Swan co-founded River Sentry, which started building these flood alarms after last summer's deadly floods.
A couple of the people came over, and they're like, the flood towers, they woke us up. They got us out of there.
The force of the floodwater was strong enough to flip construction vehicles and RVs on their sides. We met Angie Navarez as she returned to her RV, parked on a bluff overlooking the river.
Did it ever cross your mind that it was going to get as bad as it did?
No. No, it didn't. I didn't think it was going to get like this.
So the threat is diminishing, but it is not over yet. It is still raining to our north this morning. All that water, it's got to flow somewhere, and there is concern that some cities down to the south could be cut off later today with record river level.
Excuse me. Sorry, this is fucking the nasty ass smoke. Gross, dude. Deadly flooding overwhelming parts of Texas.
It was completely inundated. Nobody could get around. First from the air, helicopters circling regions, plucking people out of harm's way.
Yes. J.D. Vance and his kids set up a lemonade stand in front of the executive office building. That's great. $3. Looks delicious. Apple overtakes Nvidia to become the world's richest company. Apple, just barely, 4.88 trillion, while Nvidia sitting at 4.86 trillion. Wow. Oh, Trump and Melania attending the FIFA Cup, the World Cup final, the final match, the big one.
The issue I'm going to take with you, Lawrence, is that yes, maybe it's partly about the SAVE Act.
What business? Stop the hammering. Democrat Rep Jim Himes on the SAVE Act.
The issue I'm going to take with you, Lawrence, is that yes, maybe it's partly about the SAVE Act, which is a ridiculous solution to a problem that does not exist. Foreigners do not vote in U.S. elections.
Yes, they do.
That's the fact.
Except for when they do.
The issue I'm going to take.
Astonishing, these people. Insane. Alright, how's my build going here? Not quite there. I was hoping it would be ready enough to go this morning. Still going, integrating a few But soon enough, you may be able to download a beta release of the app here and start digging through all of Russiagate, all the DECLASS files, oh, and SPLC, and more as I add them, in a collaborative, AI-augmented digging investigation system. Very curious to see how it ends up working. Assuming you use it. Y'all gotta use it. Or at least help me get it to people that will use it. Oh geez, I gotta... Oh, that's right. I got a doctor's appointment. 15 minutes. Gotta like bug it. Like a video visit. Face ID. Okay. Visit. The microphone and camera. Okay. Cool. Well, hopefully he won't join early. Doc. If he does, I'll have to leave you. Figure something out. Put something on. And in fact, you know what? I'm gonna have something ready just in case it happens. He's usually like, he'll be like right on time at 11 or a bit late, so I don't think it'll be an issue. But just in case, I'll stick the speech on, and whoever comes in after can take it off. Feel the share. Actually, you know what? I missed like the first 5 minutes of it. Maybe we could watch it since we're out of stuff here. Maybe. Let me actually didn't try refreshing. Nope, that's it. All right. Let me check the official sources here too. See if we got anything fresh. Oh. From the Federalist, writing about the documents. The declassified records offer a window into a massive voter registration fraud operation in Muskegon, Michigan. And Michigan plays into things a lot of ways. A years-long investigation that tracked as many as 10,000 suspicious or forged registration forms submitted in the weeks before the election. The Biden Justice Department slow-walked and eventually killed the case. Of course. Okay. We've seen all that. CBS, gift and goalposts. Oh, Ratcliffe commenting. I haven't seen that. Okay, so Ratcliffe posting a statement here. CIA Director Ratcliffe, to support President Trump's transparency initiatives, CIA has taken significant steps, including providing declassified documents for public release, protecting our democracy and the integrity of our elections from foreign influence and interference remains paramount. This is why we produced key intelligence reporting showing that Venezuela's government had developed capabilities to manipulate electronic voting systems, raising serious concerns for U.S. election infrastructure security. I've long publicly highlighted China's nefarious efforts to influence the 2020 election against President Trump, as evidenced by my dissent to the flawed January 2021 ICA assessment. The documents declassified today shed further light on China's intentions These matters deserve public scrutiny to ensure democracy's foundation, the security and public confidence in our elections is unassailable. Excuse me. Gosh, gross, man. Yep, 278,000 non-citizens registered to vote. That they know of. And the real number is more than that because, you know, as Trump highlighted, a lot of these states just don't give up the info. Fighting it tooth and nail. Wonder why. Almost like they know what's going to be found. All right, let me put on the first 5 or so here. I missed, like I said, I missed it. It only came in like 9:04, 9:05, something like that. So I want to catch it. I'm gonna put that on. I'll be right back.
Stronger and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of health care is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18 they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where
Yes, I am here. Not at all. Can you tell me where are you at on that video? Will you give me the timing? Because I have it set up already. Okay, cool. Cool. I would have come even soon. Okay, you know what? When I'm ready, I'll just come in. That way, if you ever need, because I've been sitting here. I coulda. That works out perfect. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to unmute for you guys in YouTube. That's my bad. I was just passing it over to Sandy a few minutes early, so I can be ready for the video visit, Doctor's video visit here. So I'm gonna cut out a couple minutes early here, and I will catch you guys. I guess it won't be till Monday. I should certainly have something ready to show on Monday. So look forward to that. You should join on Monday morning. I will have something exciting to show, or good.